Hi there, welcome back. Today I'm doing a continuation of my previous video, which was sort of 2 years of my journey learning to code, going down the self-taught route. And I thought now I would show you some of the YouTube channels and tutorials that I followed at the start of that journey as I was sort of getting up and going. As I mentioned in the previous video, which I'll link down below if you want to check that out, I mostly started with Free Code Camp as well as a couple of other resources. But yeah, YouTube is also where I really found a lot of knowledge and sort of gained a lot as well through going through either watching tutorials and videos around programming and computer science, as I'll show you, or otherwise, just following tutorials, and then also some other channels a bit more advicey. Obviously, I was trying to break into the industry, coming from a sort of semi-technical background, but nothing programming related. Those sort of really helped me out along my way. So yeah, I thought we'd start off with, I guess, one that's quite recognizable in the industry, certainly for self-taught and junior developers, would be Brad Traversy or TraversyMedia, his channel. You can see here he's got 1.9 million subscribers, so I think that's just sort of shows, how well regarded his tutorials are. And if I actually go to videos, you can see he posts pretty regularly at the moment. And if I just sort by the most popular, you can see he's got these crash courses, which are kind of, I guess, his staple of the channel. And these are certainly the ones that I watched when I was getting up and going with HTML, CSS. We've got React here. Or if you want to dive into something specific like Git or Flexbox and that kind of thing, I probably have watched most of these, just looking at it, maybe not the Vue or Laravel. But yeah, I've certainly watched a lot of his crash courses. I found them, really good. Within sort of an hour, hour and a half, you sort of learn the basics at least of this new language or technology. And he really sort of dumbs it down almost. It's very beginner friendly, and I definitely recommend that these crash courses sort of just to have a look through, and then just see what else he might be posting that you might benefit from. So yeah, that's obviously Brad Traversy. Just stop that video. And then the next one would be the NetNinja. If you haven't heard of him, again, similar size channel, well, sort of on less than half, but still very popular. And again, his videos, he sort of, rather than does one like long video, he does lots of short ones. But if I do most popular, you'll see there's a number of different courses basically, and he has as I said, playlists split out into loads of different videos on pretty much anything web and software related, and certainly new technology as well. So you can see MongoDB, it was the MERN stack as part of that, React Router was at 6, so SvelteKit. Again, I've taken a number of his courses, and he's really good at sort of, again, for the junior developer, sort of breaking everything down step by step. And again, I think he does those sort of crash courses. I definitely took the React and Next ones. And I think I actually just got started initially as well. There will be a HTML or CSS one within here, I'm sure. And that's what I was following when I just sort of got going as well. So I was kind of using, the NetNinja and TraversyMedia videos alongside Free Code Camp as I was sort of looking through and sort of starting to learn really. But yeah, definitely recommend this channel and the other one. And then I should sort of mention as well, alongside that, I wasn't just watching and coding along. There were some videos where I was just watching, sort of background, or some of the days where I didn't perhaps want to open up the editor, for example. And sort of the one that I found here, this computer science crash course, has 41 videos, and it is really good actually. So the sort of channel behind it are called Crash Course, and you can see they got 13.5 million subscribers, and they have crash courses on all sorts of different topics, sort of mostly related to, I guess, STEM is what it would be called. And you see there's history, social science, and other things like that. But yeah, the computer science crash course is really, really well put together. Sort of went through the basics of sort of, the low level, computer science fundamentals almost. So I definitely recommend that in addition to, just learning, let's say, front-end web development as I was. It gives you more of a context and a sort of, I guess, a general knowledge of computers as a whole if you don't have that much knowledge of them. And I think, yeah, it's just good to have a look through. You don't have to watch all the videos. You can sort of just go through the ones that might be interesting. But it does follow a nice linear pattern, going from sort of ones and zeros and binary all the way up to, I guess, sort of AI and big data and sort of working with sort of I guess the crazy things computers can do these days in comparison to sort of a long time ago. So so that was a really good course as well. And then when I was learning JavaScript, obviously I mentioned I started with Free Code Camp, and I obviously watched TraversyMedia and NetNinja's sort of JavaScript crash courses, I guess. But I guess the point that really stuck it for me was this guy called Alvin, or AlvinTheProgrammer. He only has just less than 10k subscribers at the point of recording here, but his JavaScript for beginners. It's 33 videos here. I think in total it's about 7 or 8 hours, but that is probably the one resource that I attribute sort of me finally sort of getting JavaScript almost, sort of where it clicked for me, was going through that. And you can just see here there's a number of different I guess sort of titles for them, so you sort of learn loops, variables, conditionals, etc., functions, and I guess going through that step-by-step approach, where it sort of be, I guess, a short sort of breakdown of what you're learning, and then actually going ahead and trying to code alongside Alvin here. That was sort of really what got JavaScript to stick for me. And you can see these are sort of really quite small amount of views, but yeah, I definitely recommend it. It's all up to date. It's sort of just under 2 years ago, I guess. Or over, but yeah, really good course. And again, I'll link this in the description because this is the JavaScript course that I recommend anyone if you're a complete beginner or you're sort of a couple of months in. I definitely recommend just going through this anyway, because there'll be stuff in here that you learn through sort of doing the exercises that sort of really help down the line. And again, I think that was where I first got exposed to React as well, because after that JavaScript for beginners, I think he released a short React video, and I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And that was probably my first React project after learning again, sort of through, is the syntax wise on Free Code Camp and the others. But yeah, he sort of does more algorithm stuff now, and I think actually found his channel through the Free Code Camp channel, which again is actually a great channel to check out. They have a lot of I guess sort of third-party courses and other content creators posting on there. I haven't included them obviously in this video because I think mostly Free Code Camp for me was actually using the online, the website itself, rather than their videos. But yeah, and then I guess the final one would be this guy called briandesign. He has sort of 92,000 subscribers, and his videos were mostly around React. But I believe he actually started, as a designer, and then sort of learned HTML and CSS, and then went through and was learning React and sort of just pumping out videos like there's no tomorrow, sort of during the lockdown it seemed. And again, I sort of found those at a good point when I was learning React. And I think because he was previously a designer, and also went through sort of a journey of learning to code, he breaks everything down really quite nicely. And as I said, because of the design aspect of it all, the actual projects look really good. So I enjoyed sort of coding those out. Sometimes you might come across a project and it doesn't look the best. Maybe they don't spend that long on sort of the CSS. But actually probably most of this, or a lot of them as well, are really sort of CSS heavy, and you'll just sort of refine those skills because, if you're a front-end developer, chances are you'll have to sort of have quite good design chops in terms of actually coding out as per a Figma or another design file. Obviously that's sort of what I do day to day now, working as a developer. But yeah, he's kind of not posted as much recently, but certainly all of the previous videos over the last 2 years or so that he's been going, really sort of top notch, and I think they're still relevant today. And then actually I've just seen there's one 3 hours ago, so yeah, it's definitely one that I will be checking out after this. And yeah, those are sort of the 5 channels, I guess, that I'd most recommend. So maybe that would be the title of this video. But yeah, do let me know if you sort of have any other YouTube channels that you can recommend, sort of learning to code, and sort of help each other out in the chat below. That would be great. And yeah, if you've got any questions as well on your journey, do reach out and I'd be happy to help you. But yeah, good luck, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.